It's your weekly video. Let's talk about why it's more likely that a person will be struck by lightning than try to fraudulently vote at the polls on Tuesday. Because we've heard these claims, right, that millions of non-citizens are coming to the country and voting illegally. But the truth is, this is a type of crime that has been thoroughly studied and found to be incredibly rare. For example, the Brennan Center did a study of 42 jurisdictions across 12 states with some of the highest populations of non-citizens living there. And they found that in the 2016 election, for example, out of 23.5 million ballots cast in those jurisdictions, only about 30 were plausibly fraudulent. And this reflects their other conclusion that nationally we're looking at not a rate of like 3% of people committing this crime, more like 0.0003%. It's reflected also in a Washington Post study that looked at 2000 to 2014 and found that out of more than 1 billion ballots cast, only like 31 were plausibly allegedly fraudulent. The Heritage Foundation, the people who wrote Project 2025, obviously they are not playing on my political team, but even they on their website have fewer than 100 instances of alleged voter fraud listed over a 20-year period from 2002 to 2022. This is in part because our systems work. Like the state of Georgia looked at the last 25 years of its voter rolls in the state and found that about 2,000 people had tried to sign up to vote when they weren't allowed to vote. And guess what? The state told them they weren't allowed to vote and they didn't get to vote. There's also something else I feel the need to point out here, which is that there's this underlying implication that non-citizens are dangerous in committing crimes here in the US. But there's something you should know about that. When we look at the rates at which non-citizens commit crimes compared to citizens, we find that undocumented people living in America commit crimes at about less than half the rate of US citizens.